My name is Julia Heikkinen and I represent the Oulu University of Applied Sciences, where I work as a project manager in a group called the Arts Innovation Research Program. We have been coordinating a Creative Europe project called the ACUTE, which we have now been showcasing here at the IETM conference.
And my name is Anders Hasmo and I'm a dramaturg at the Norske Teatret in Oslo and also took part in this Creative Europe project ACUTE.
And what would you say are the successes of your project?
In the core of the project are productions where we have been implementing new technologies. So we produced 9 full productions with very different technologies involved, and they were very ambitious, very courageous, I would say, and very successful also.
And what were the challenges in the project?
You want to talk about the challenges?
But I think the Creative Europe, at least for us as a big institutional text-based repertoire theatre, the project gives like some kind of fund to really create a pilot project where you could add that on the top of the production budget and really start to develop something new that really can be a little bit different from the way that we usually produce theatre. So to be given the opportunity to try out a new form of collaboration and working specific with cross-collaboration with a tech company, with a philosopher, with a biologist, with lawmakers,
Decision makers.
to different people. So that's really is a nice opportunity, and then you learn a lot, of course, all the difficulties with collaboration, but to find a common ground and to try to structure your work and develop, for our case, theater in a new way has been a lot of learning in many ways. But we are really glad that we had the opportunity, and we have learned a lot about how to collaborate, how to create these kind of collaborations, and also had the possibility to deep dive into, for our case, like our relation as a theatre to society, and in specific AI and how we as a sector should take a part on that.
And as a project lead, how did you find the Norske Teatret?
Very ambitious. They started they chose AI a long time before it was on a stage where it is right now. I don't know if it's ready even now, but you kind of counted on it working even without not knowing would it really work. So very brave in that sense.
And as a university, how do you see your role connected to culture and developing like the arts? Is that very important for your university?
It is, and whereas the education part and the education field is of course our primary role, developing the region as a whole and the whole, like the business life and the ecosystem and the society is another thing. And having art and culture there and bringing cultural or creative expertise in these different corners of the society is very important to us.
No. So if you both look at the future, how is the relationship between technology and art? Is that something that will change theater a lot, or will it continue more or less the same?
I think in my talk I'm pointing out like a 3-point strategy, but it's not like written in stone, but where I'm looking at it now, that of course we should continue to play theater as we have always done for more than 2,000 years, and really to use that space. I think that actually could be more relevant, but we need also to look into the new dramaturgies of minds, like how are our audiences affected by having the possibility to create that much content home around their desktops, how now the computing games are being more and more realistic, how they are spending so much money to create like entertainment, So we need to look into how the audience's consumption patterns are changed, and how can we as theatre really try to make sure that we are still a relevant, open civic space. And I think that's maybe one of the main learnings for us, is that we need to find, or it could be nice to look into our ways of producing theatre and see if it's possible in some project to invite different experts. And they don't need to come from the tech, but like, how do we as national institutions really engage with our audiences? I mean, the arts also needs to take position in this technology. We need to use our culture in investigating, like how we need to look into how this can change our society and take a stand, or at least ask some questions, because I think the audiences needs those questions to be raised.
And from an academic kind of view, is there any warning signs that you think Anders and the Norske Teatret should know about?
No, I would still say that it is good, and it's also very natural here on the field of culture that we stay curious and we stay open-minded and willing to embrace new things and the unknown. So I wouldn't say that that's a danger sign or a red flag there, but something that we should be pioneering, as we have always done.
And I think, of course, there's so much to find out about how AI will influence our society and the art sector. Also regarding copyrights and the way that actually a lot of models are trained without asking the owners. So there are so many political and ethical questions that needs to be raised, but I think also then the arts could have a proactive way of asking those questions. And even if a lot of audiences maybe came to see our production because they thought it was to showcase AI, I mean, our performance and our goal from the very first beginning was to address the question, what does it mean to be a human forcing this new power? And I think that's a question we need to ask more and more, and the art should also take a stand in those questions.